give
Give them the
information.
information. Yeah.
Give them
Educate
information,
them.
educate them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell them, oh, you know what, I'm voting for this person because this is. You don't do that. You know what I mean? You're causing a problem for those people who are unsure and stuff like that. You're now
For
confusing.
people that are easily swayed.
Yeah. You're now causing confusion. And to tell you the truth, this election has been some of the craziest election that I've ever seen out there. For real.
By far, yeah.
By far, you know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, I don't know why they're making it this.
The most challenging, the most everything. Talked about possibly, I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
it is. But we have to look at this. The role of government in our lives, is to set order, and that's the one thing people have to look at. To set a standard, to set order, to have security, so to speak, and stuff like that,
balance.
to maintain that, yeah. And that's what people have to look for. That's the key in everything. That's what people have to look for. Who could pretty much hold on the values of the Constitution, like people say. You know what I mean? Or who could hold on the values? Who could guide and who could rule and who could guide us to the place that we need to be?
So just like it says here, like I mentioned here, the character traits. Someone that's trustworthy. So we're looking for someone who will definitely, if you say you're gonna do it, do it. If you're unable to do that, then you inform people, hey, I know I said this and I wasn't able to do it or whatever. You know what I mean? You need people that will.
But the thing is, right? Like I say, here's the thing. Okay, let's just deal with modern time. Let's just deal with right now. President that we have right now. The thing is, even though there was things that he promised that he would have done, and I hear a lot of ignorant people say, and sorry to call them that, but it is ignorance to say, oh, you know what happened? You promised this, you promised that, and whatnot. Yes, a man could promise whatever he wants to promise. The thing is, they don't realize that he has to go through a channel or channels to get certain thing approved. Certain things, yes, he could just say, okay, yes, it's done and it's done. But certain things, he has to go through a channel, and it doesn't matter if it's a white man, a black man, or a purple man in order. But the thing is, he have to be able. There are certain channels that he has to go through, and that's the problem that you're having right there. A lot of people don't want to understand that. They just, a lot of us nowadays are just on that instant gratification tip, that we want something and we want it to be done right now, not knowing that there is a process to go through. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem that we have.
There are challenges that he has.
Let's see. Yeah, again, like I said, the process, and they're not realizing that there is a process, and there is so many things he has to go through. He has to go through Senate, he has to go through Congress, he has to go through everything else, and that's why I'm saying in this election it's like crazy, because who do you believe? What do you believe? How do you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people are dealing with this election. I hear some. So I spoke to a Mexican dude, and I said, man, who you gonna vote for? Oh, well, I'm not voting for nobody. Why? Well, President Obama said he was gonna do this for the immigrants and stuff like that. It didn't come through. I said, okay, and what happened to Mitt Romney now? Oh, well, I'm not gonna vote for him because he seems like whatever the case may be.
He'll deport everyone.
Yeah.
No.
Or whatever, and I'm saying, well, dude, the thing is, truth of the matter is, okay, even though the president say he'll try to do it or whatever the case may be, there's still red tapes. Mm-hmm. Now, again,
and I'm not. You also have to look at the time frame as well. It's not going to be. It's possible that he wasn't able to achieve all of those things that he had.
You know what? The way the economy is, people have to realize that. Okay, you know what? He inherited a well, so to speak. You know what I mean? A well. He inherited a gaping hole in the economy that he has to try to clog up. But the thing is, it will take time for the economy to grow. Right now, I mean, when you listen to the reports on CNN and NBC and Bloomberg and stuff like that, you hear that the economy is actually moving. It's moving very slow, but the thing is, it's moving. There is progress. And the thing is, once there is movement,
Yeah, because it says here, I'm sorry, this article states here that the unemployment rate is at the lowest level since President Obama took office.
yeah, I mean, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. There is no way you could accomplish everything that you want to accomplish in 3.5 years. And again, like I say, you know what? I'm not saying this is who to vote for, and I'm not trying to sway anybody any which way. I'm just saying, don't matter who gets in that position, even if it's Mitt Romney, he's still not going to get everything accomplished in 4 or 3.5 years. He's not going to get it in 4. The thing is, when there is movement, movement will create momentum after a while. You know what I mean? It's like a rock. You're pushing a rock down a hill. At first, it's not going to just pick up and go. It has to build up momentum to get to a point where it will be unstoppable.
And you know what's so funny? If Mitt Romney actually, is elected, and it just so happens that some of these things that people may have had their expectations on, like certain things taken care of, and it weren't taken care of while President Obama was in office, best believe Mitt Romney will get credited for it.
Of course.
Just what you're stating. I mean, President Obama may have initiated the the reform or whatever.
In other words,
the next person.
In other words, the president started pushing that rock, and the rock is moving slowly, but it's slowly building up momentum. So when somebody else gets in that position, that momentum that it has, it just keeps going. Now it look like they're the champions, or they're the king of things, or they change around in society. Not realizing where people are not realizing it was something that was already set in motion.
Exactly.
Again, like I say again, now that depends on what his plans are for the future. Because when he gets in office, if he gets in office, right, Mitt Romney or whoever, let's not put a name to it. Let's just say whoever, whatever candidates are running now, whoever wins, once they get in office, it's based on their whole ideologies or their whole plan for the future, because they may have something that was already set in motion, and it's picking up momentum, and then you have somebody come in and stop that momentum by putting a block in the road or an obstacle in the road that rock can't move any further, and start implementing their own little ideas. And everything take a slump. It could either take a slump, but I guarantee you, if it did not take a slump, it has to build momentum. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight. It's not something that's gonna happen in a year. It's not something that's gonna happen in 4 years.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Rome wasn't built in a day. Good example. Not even God took 7 days to complete everything. And
then he rests.
So
So I mean,
so,
not this time.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying that no matter who gets in office, no matter what their plans are, no matter what they do, it has to build momentum. It has to take off.
It's a process,
and it's gonna start slow. That's just all it is. So again, the role of government is not to tell you what to do, how to do things, but to set order to things where there is a system with everything. It's just like when you look at a car. Pretty much, I would say that the head of the car is you. You're the one that's pushing that car and controlling that car whichever way you want to go. You know what? A lot of people don't know all the moving parts in a car. That it takes crankshaft, and it takes the starter, and it takes the flywheel, and it takes the alternator, and nobody really cares about all that other part that it have to it. You know what I mean?
They can get it in there.
Exactly. So you have to realize it's like a car, and that's how society and life is. You know what I mean? You have the Godhead or the driver who is the governor or whatever the case may be that would direct that car to where it wants to go. Of course, if you just sit down there as a government and you don't press the pedal, the car is not going to move. You have to press the pedal for the car to build up momentum and go to the speed that you want it. If you want it to go to 60 miles per hour, if you don't press that pedal, it's not going to go to 60 miles per hour. And again, you know, if you press that pedal and you don't keep applying pressure to that pedal, you know what I mean, for it to build up momentum to get to 60 miles per hour, you're never going to get. If you press it only 20 miles per hour, then that's where it's going to go. 60. You know what I mean? You can't push 20 and expecting 60. It doesn't happen.
You will be disappointed.
You know? You could stick your foot to the pedal on the ground. Even if you slam your feet dead to the ground, that car will not get from where it's at to 60 in no time. It's gonna build seconds. Now they have cars that do 60 in 1 point something seconds and whatnot from 0 to 60, but that 0 to 60 is not something you're gonna feel right away. You know, it's something that builds up after time. So again, role of government, like I say, in everybody's life and stuff like that, is to guide us, is to set rules, you know what I mean, to guide us, to set a system,
a standard,
a system, a standard, you know what I mean, for security and stuff like that. That's what it is.
Thank you.
I try to do my best. I tried. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? Like I say again, we're not trying to get too political and stuff like that. You know what? This election, like I say again, people are just calling it like the worst.
Everyone with an opinion is an expert.
Pretty much. They calling it one of the worst elections out there, one of the greatest elections out there, a historical election.
I am sure people who were not interested in politics before,
they are interested
now.
At
this point in time.
You know, I again, like I said, you know what? I was listening to the radio today, and it's just kind of crazy how people think. You know, I don't understand what people think and how people think. Right? You have this host, I forgot his name, but you have this host talking about, oh, you know what? It was a situation where a lady in Texas went to the voting polls and he says, vote Bible.
Wow.
Right? And they turned her away because it said vote Bible. Okay? So the discussion was set around that. And pretty much people were calling and saying what they think about it and all that stuff like that. But anyway, the host was saying something about, oh, he loved God and God called. He even gave the synopsis of Caesar. Render unto Caesar what Caesar's. And all that good stuff. He brought that up and saying how he loved God and God said to respect your leaders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to call so bad because here you have this host saying that, but in the same token, he turns around the very next second. And every 5 words out of his mouth, Obama. And I'm like, wow, well, you just told your listening audience that they're supposed to respect their leader. Respect. That's his word he used. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. But yet still you're turning down and you're knocking down the now president. How does that work?
Contradiction.
You know, and then you have people are calling in and saying, oh, you know, this and that, and oh, you know, like one guy called in and he said that he was at the VA, and someone walked in with a shirt that said OMG, and in the bottom of that shirt that said OMG, it says Obama must go.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And he was saying that they kicked the person out for having that T-shirt. But then the next, a lady walked into the VA and she had an Obama hat, an Obama T-shirt, she even had Obama written on her pants. And they didn't kick her out. I say, you know what? Y'all are making an issue out of every little thing. Y'all are using every little thing to make it politic, to make it political. And it doesn't make sense to me. You know,